Welcome to the Peacemaker Talks, where we are practicing peace to make it. Make peace, that is. And today, this is really exciting. We got a special episode. We're celebrating the 250th celebration of independence. And that is something that I think we are going to see things we've never seen before and hear things we've never heard before. And to do that, I have an honorary guest with me today. We are going to go around, introduce everyone. And but let me start by introducing our honorary guest. It's Louis Caccioli. And I just want to say thank you for joining us today.
I just want to say thank you for everybody for having me here. And I just want to let everybody know the one reason why I'm here is that I am a survivor from 9/11. I was there that day. I got buried. And the main reason for being here is that I don't want people to forget 9/11. It's 25 years. It's anniversary. I'm honored to be here, and we need to try to the situation that's going on, and especially what happened on January 6th, okay? It was out of control, and we're going to discuss it further.
We are. We're going to have a really good discussion. And this is going to be, like I said, it's special because we wouldn't even be able to be here having this discussion. And I want to fill it with hope. So I'm going to go around, and we're going to spend the first segment just getting to know each person on today. And then when we come back on the second and third, we're really going to hear about Louis' story. But let's start. Right? Co-host. Welcome, Tavia.
Thank you, Sarah.
American conservative artist.
Thank you. Yeah, just want to introduce myself. I'm the creative director for American Conservative Artists. I'm also working with GoUSA.us, which is working on a ops score, which is a political rating system, nonpartisan, to get people to be more aware of who they're voting for. And you can find me at either AmericanConservativeArtist.com or GoUSA.us. And so great to be here with all these great patriots. Thank you.
Yeah, she's a great supporter for January 6ers as well. She's really getting to understand the stories that happened that day, and I really appreciate her for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you.
And then we have here my friend Sue Hansen, who is an absolute wonderful January 6th advocate. She went through the fire with me, and I appreciate her very much for that. And we're going to hear today, but she was also at January 6th, and she got involved. She's very concerned about election integrity. So we're just going to hear a little bit about Sue and what you wish to share with us today.
Hi, thanks for having me, Sarah. Sue Hansen here from Suffolk County, New York. I'm working with ProjectCivica.org and also PrecinctProjectUSA.org, and we're promoting election integrity and also getting involved at the local level. Take back your country. Thanks again for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming, Sue. And then here on the left, the right, stage right, we have Jill Cohen. Thank you, Jill, for having your health with you, too, today. If you follow Jill, she just had just a little bit of
heat exhaustion.
Heat exhaustion. I think, and probably that was a lot. You were down in D.C., and so just tell us a little bit what you wish to share with the audience.
Hi, everybody. So I am a journalist, an author, an editor, and also a publisher and the host of the Beach Report that I've been doing for more than 10 years now on YouTube and Facebook as well. And I just want to be here with these amazing people to remind everybody about the way 9/11 changed our society. And I wrote a book about it. And my book was published in 2015 because that was when I realized that people weren't teaching about 9/11 in schools, and the children didn't even know what had happened. So I wrote this as a history book to start the conversation between parents and kids. Good. About what happened, because you all remember where you were when 9/11 happened.
Absolutely.
But do your children know where you were? And that is kind of my tagline, to get people started and talking about it, especially in the wake of what's happening in New York City right now. And we're watching 25 years later, and it's Thank you. And it's a problem that we need to address. And I think that's what we're here to do today. Am I right?
Amen. Yes.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Well, very much so. And now we have Jamie Crow.
Yep.
She is the Betsy Ross of today's MAGA community. And Jamie, tell us, what's your gift here that you're sharing?
I'm Jamie Crow. I'm from Pennsylvania. I lived out by Hershey. My thing is, America, we're blessed to have God in this country, and we need to have God in this country. We need to fly the American flag everywhere we go because we are Americans, and I believe that. But also, I'm a J6 supporter. I stood down on the corner lots with Mama Mickey and met President Trump, and he signed that flag over there. We'll get to that then. It's an eye-opener. Same with 9/11. 9/11, the government was part of that. January 6th, the government was part of that, big part of that. And we all want justice, and we want all peace throughout this nation.
Yeah.
How things started.
That's beautiful. Yeah, we really are taking on an incredible topic. We got 9/11. Both Louis and I are 9/11 first responders and survivors, and that comes with a very heavy burden. Thank you. Okay, and around us are advocates and help. And not only for 9/11, now for January 6th. We have another, yes. So we're going to have some discussions today that, we really,
I did that on purpose.
good. We really got through that much quicker. Everybody was able to really summarize very well. We have 5 minutes left. So I want to be able to just say, this is a Holy Spirit-led podcast. It was pressed upon my heart to bring more of God to the airwaves. And, when you follow God's little taps, would you say, right? Leadings, guidings. It really, it's so wonderful because I started this in a way prior to January 6th, after 9/11, prior to January 6th. He goes before us because look at this amazing community that had I not had been given the idea to do this podcast and to work that way, I wouldn't have been prepared. So he prepares us. And even with that, I'm not so prepared because it's overwhelming. It's an overwhelming subject matter. But look at these wonderful people around me and just everywhere. And this whole warehouse, it just really is a place where God just shows up for you. And I'm so grateful for it. Sue actually introduced me to the warehouse. Sue went to trial with me at DC. What was your big takeaway at DC trial for January 6th?
Well, it's very intimidating when you first get there and you walk into a courtroom. My big takeaway was that it was very biased. It was very unfair. They actually had, I think, a projection displayed throughout the trial of the gallows, where there was a noose hanging.
Oh my gosh!
And this is supposed to be an open-minded and fair kind of a trial, and that's just kind of looming in the background. So. It was definitely not a fair trial, and I was just very supportive of Sarah. That was just such a horrible thing to have to go through, and she was there pretty much by herself, and I was glad to be there just to support her and help her get through it.
And God wants to be in our courts. That's what he says. He wants to be in our courts. God is a God of mercy and a God of judgment. Justice, excuse me. He is judgment, but justice as well, and justice was not served. So I want to thank you again for being there. And that noose thing, I actually avoided it when I saw it on January 6th. I was like, ooh, and I kind of went the other way. Yeah. But yet it was there in my trial. And here we had Jamie, who would go down to, you said Mickey before, and Mickey is Ashley Babbitt's mother. Mm-hmm. And you stood at the Freedom Corner, correct?
I did, and because of Mama Mickey, I think Ashley would have wanted us to do that. Yeah, I think Ashley absolutely would have supported also.
I often wonder, what would Ashley be doing? That's a question that keeps me...
Ashley would be flying that American flag.
Yes.
And that flag over there, that came about because I need to do more. I wanted.
Did you get it? Okay, thank you.
People to know that January 6th, they will never be forgotten. Operation Freedom, United We Stand, as January 6th. And I went to President Trump on Labor Day in 2023, and I had him sign that flag. And I said, what do you want me to take back to D.C. and tell the guys in the jail that didn't need to be there? His quote was, you tell them everything will be okay.
Wow.
And that will be the first thing that he will sign, is to get them pardoned when he became in office. And it was exactly, he kept his promises. He kept his promises. And I absolutely love President Trump of how he, yeah, it's over here. Yep. If it wasn't for President Trump, I don't think any of us would get any justice anywhere for 9/11, January 6th, because he loves this country as much as we all do.
Very
Absolutely.
true. Very true.
And God.
Can we talk a little bit about July 13th?
Please do.
Now, I am from the Pittsburgh area, and when I was a reporter for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and other magazines around Pittsburgh, Butler was my beat.
Okay.
So when I watched President Trump and he was, but everything that happened, all the people in the crowd, I knew a lot of them.
Jill, we're going to ask you to hold your thought because we're going to break in commercial in 10 seconds.
Okay, so thank you. So we will come back with July 13th, and Louis, we're going to hear all about his heroics. So thank you. Come on back.
Most people think they have options when searching for the best deals when they travel. But here's the shocking truth. 100% of the major travel agencies are owned by just two entities, Expedia and Booking Holdings. They claim to offer the lowest rates, but due to the hotel rate parity agreement, they all have the same pricing, limiting genuine competition. When you book through these sites, you act as your own travel agent, but the profits are going to organizations that don't support our patriot values. We cannot allow that to continue. So, we decided to make travel great again by starting a US-based travel membership platform, mypatriottravel.com. We are patriots helping patriots. Together, we can disrupt the travel industry by not spending our hard-earned dollars supporting the radical left. For just $29.99 per month, you gain access to true wholesale rates on travel, saving you on average 35% and up to 65%. Book as often as you like, with no limits. Keep your hard-earned dollars in your pocket and spend them on things you need and want to support. Go to mypatriottravel.com/TAFW and grab your membership today. mypatriottravel.com/TAFW, making travel great again.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
I'm sure you guys remember the platinum single, Justice for All, with Donald Trump and the J6 Prison Choir. Well, get ready for round two. We're coming out with Anthem of the Free with High Res and the J6 Prison Choir. It's coming out now. It's pre-sale until December 19th when it drops. Get yours on all platforms, Google Play, Apple iTunes. Get it. It's going to be hot.
Justice for all, our voices ring. It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
Welcome back to the Peacemaker Talks, where we're doing a special episode for 250 years of independence, and I've got an incredible crew here with me today. And we just left off. We're going to spend the time for the next two segments hearing about Louis' story, but this needs to be spoken about. Another fireman who died at the Butler, PA. With the assassin shot. So we did lose. We did not lose our president. We did lose a life that day that should be remembered. And just Jill is gonna.
Yeah. So I'm from that area, and when I was a reporter for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Butler was my beat, like I was saying, and Corey Comparator was a very important part of the community up in Saxonburg area. Actually, he was from Buffalo Township, and he was their fire chief. But it's all the same area, and they're from the Saxonburg area. Anyway, last year I went up to Butler because I just felt compelled to go up and be part of it. And I saw these people that I knew when President Trump got shot, and I wanted to be there with them. They had an amazing motorcycle run for Corey. They had a concert. They had all this stuff going on. It was a beautiful thing. So I went back up this year. On the 3rd, they had a parade in Saxonburg, and they honored Corey there. But when I asked, what are you doing for July 13th, they said nothing. There were people who wanted to do something, and there was no will to do it. They were citing concerns about the war and concerns about politics, and I don't think any of that matters when Corey lost his life, and his family is mourning. It isn't, been just almost 2 years since he's gone. He has a new baby grandchild, and that is very, very sad to think that baby's born with no grandfather. So I just want everybody to please never forget Corey Comparator. He gave his life for President Trump.
It really is. When you go to the rallies and everything, it crosses people's minds that these I don't want to say it's dangerous but these assassins are gaining so much
notoriety.
Yeah,
thank you. Yeah. And so he really shows exemplifies the bravery that it's not going to stop us. We're going to keep showing up, and yes, he should be remembered.
He was sheltering his wife and his 2 daughters when he got shot. They could have gotten hurt, but they didn't, because he took the bullets.
Yes.
Right.
And he took the bullet for the president.
Now, Louis, this is all. It's the support, and that man was a supporter, and our supporters and the men who run into the protecting, like you said, the men who protect and continue and you're able to be here with us today because of love that we show for one another. People just keep showing up for one another, and that's really American spirit. I feel a lot about you exemplify, really you are an image to hold up when we speak about 250 years of independence.
Well, the first thing I want to say is that my condolences go out to the brother firefighter, Corey, okay? He was a brave man. And the one thing with firefighter, first responders, whenever we respond to a situation, we don't think about ourselves. We think about the situation we're in, and we're going in there to try to do the best we can and to save as many people as possible, okay? Unfortunately, he did the right thing as far as he was protecting, like you said, he was protecting his family. And also, I think he might have saved President Trump, okay?
I think so too.
And it's just an honor that, this is what we do. And you being a police officer, we're always in there, and what do you do when you go to a fire or confront a situation? Most people are running out. We're running in.
Right.
We don't
Exactly.
think about ourselves, like I said, and our family, because
Yeah.
we have a job to do.
Right.
And 9/11 was a perfect example. We knew we were going in there not to put the fire out and this and that. It was a rescue operation. And that day it was working. I responded. I worked up in Harlem. I have over 20 years. And we knew we had a job to do. And it would probably be the biggest rescue that was ever made. All the people that we saved. And it was a disgrace to our country what happened. Okay, in '93 I was there. I wasn't working, but I went down there. We lost nine.
When the Trade Center in 1993, a bomber went down into the basement.
Bomb underneath. We
Parking
lost
lot,
nine family members, and then they said we'll be back. 8 years later, look what they did. Who would ever thought they'd fly planes into the towers? And terrible. But the main thing is that we can't forget. We need to do more of this and keep going, okay? Because we can't go on like this. We got to get some answers here, okay? We got to get some answers. It was a tragedy and a half, you know, and people are forgetting. In schools, they don't even sing the national anthem. Some of the schools, it's terrible. It's disgusting. And,
So that's really important, and I think that's also where I say, you know, you really exemplify what being a patriot is, and what that independent spirit of wanting to pass along that which you know is good and right, and which you learned from being. You would not have learned that had your family stayed in Italy, and you would have still. Louis immigrated here from Italy, and he's written a book about a memoir. So in his memoir, he covers. I'm reading this, and I'm like, whoa, my God, this has to be in our education system. This book has to it has to be absolutely, the way I see it, high schoolers should be reading this book.
Right.
It really, he brings you through from his immigration up into, I can't even get, I'm a little afraid to read about the 9/11 part. Honestly, it's very difficult to bring back there, but it's got to be.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But I am the luckiest man alive. That people come up to me, oh, you're a hero. I'm not a hero. I'm just doing my job. I'm just the luckiest man alive. The reason is I came from Italy at 11 years old. To get here, you got to have 2 sponsors to come to this country. Okay? My dad, we were farmers. And his 2 sisters came to U.S., and then every year they would come for vacation. They would tell their brother, you got to come to America. We finally came to America after getting 2 sponsors, and it took 2 years before we were allowed to come in. When we got here, we were proud right away to be American. We were proud. My dad, after 5 years, he wanted to become a citizen. He was proud to be in this country. And they gave us a list of questions they were going to ask, and I would study with my dad. You know, silly question like, well, who's the 16th president and this and that? And he was honored to be here. And they had to get a job right away. They had to find a job. Today, it's out of control. We have no control no more here. There's no control. People just coming and going, and they voted. The elections became a complete joke, okay? Mm-hmm. And we need peace in this country. I love this country. I love this country. And I was blessed to fulfill my dream. I always wanted to be a firefighter, okay? I was blessed. I couldn't wait to go to work. I worked in Harlem, in New York City in Harlem. I couldn't wait to go to work. They said, Lou, I just love it. Was the firefighting, it was a second family to me. All right? We worked together. We went down the hallway together. We ate together. And we became a second family. And I was so proud to be a firefighter. You know what? And we got to get back on track here, you know? Mm-hmm. Even with Trump. You don't have to love Trump. You don't have to like him. Just support him. The man works day and night. Could you imagine if you had the other 2 clowns running the country? Where would we be?
Exactly.
The man is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And we need peace here. We need peace.
And that's, you know, if they say never forget, that was always the thing. And honestly, for me, it's not so much a phrase, never forget. That's more of a statement to me. Like, I will never forget.
Neither would I.
Yeah.
Never forget that day. And there's a lot of people, you know what? They're suffering out there. If they don't believe it, go down on 9/11 for the anniversary. You got people coming from all over the world to pay their respect because they lost their loved one. They want to be there. And you got people that they don't care. They don't care. They want to.
They're disrespecting the monument,
disrespecting
the
everything.
memorial.
It's terrible, terrible. I don't know. I mean,
Well, and I think that the more we concentrate on what we need to do and keep our focus where we need to be,
Right.
I don't even let I think maybe being a police officer, that has helped me. Because when you have a cause, you're not paying attention to what the people who are standing around, not in the arena, as President Trump says, and just trying to, I've got my vision on justice. And that includes 9/11.
Absolutely.
And January 6th.
Absolutely.
And so long as we hold on to these things that are true and good and beautiful, which is truth, even though sometimes it doesn't look so beautiful, the truth. But so long as we keep working our way that way, I believe that's how God will meet you.
Yes, and you got to have faith. You got to believe in God. And if I could share this.
Well, I want you to share this very much so. Louis was telling me earlier, and I think I wanted this to hit really hard on the January 6th community. But if you can do this on the second segment, because I do not want to interrupt you when you speak about this.
Okay,
and I'm just going to prep it, because again, this show is about bringing God, giving God space, giving Him space to be us to freely talk about. Which, growing up, we all kind of had church and everything. In a way, it really wasn't something you brought out and however that was, I don't know. But I feel like now it's something that we really got to press in on, lean in on, and give more space to and think about.
It's more than just Sunday.
It's more than just Sunday.
More than just Sundays.
Right.
And it's going to come up in the next conversation how if you're feeling a little bit like, well, how could there be a God if you look around, and you could get really discouraged. So Louis is going to share with us an experience that many first responders have had. Not only, and I think the January 6th community might be suffering as well through this. Mm-hmm. So I hope that they tune in and it really is a lot to share. And we have 12 seconds left. And I didn't get to say the website, so definitely come back for the next episode where you could find everybody. But we're going to hear from Louis next. Thank you.
Me, Joe the Fox, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic place in all the land. Hey, I'm here getting cleansed up. You know why? Because Sugar Creek Goods is a great place by patriots, making patriot soaps, making me smell nice. And that's what's nice. Who wants to go down the street and smell of somebody bad in New York City? Hey, by the way, what's this thing for?
250 years ago, a nation was born. Built on courage, driven by freedom, defined by patriots who stood their ground. Today, we don't just remember that legacy, we wear it. This is more than a shirt. It's a symbol of strength, freedom, and pride. I'm Steve Stern, COO of theflagshirt.com, and I invite you to celebrate 250 years of the United States with us. Wear your pride, stand for something, get your shirts today.
You know what is more disappointing than Gino Bisconte, everyone?
My sex life?
No, bad cell service. Let's make fun of Gino. Oh wait, he's here.
Well, speaking of the opposite of his sex life, these people have towers that are huge and they're everywhere. And while you're traveling, you can use these huge towers. PatriotMobile.com / it bends to the right. I don't have to tell you. TAFW. And then you can talk about me behind my back.
Patriotic people doing patriotic things.
Corporate transfer. Fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
It's me, Joe the Box. And I'm John the Blanket with the America First podcast.
That's what I'm talking about. The Fred Rubino podcast coming to you from the America First warehouse.
Welcome, everybody, to the James Justice Show, tearing these airwaves apart with all the craziness that goes on in the world.
Welcome to the Patriots podcast. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the On the Right Side podcast here at the America First warehouse in Long Island, New York.
Shane Jenkins here with another episode of Liberty's Cage.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast, Red, Right, and True.
We are streaming live on America First Media and Television app.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Downey Jr. podcast. Be free, stay free.
He's going to get to that.
Hey, welcome back to Peacemaker Talks, and I really hope this brings some peace to your heart, this show today, for 250 years, and that is God's plan for us. And while we can't really make peace, peace comes from God, we can ask God for peace in our lives, and we can share that. So I think in this story that Louis is going to reveal to us is very much telling about how God shows up for us.
Well, first of all, when I speak, I'm representing my 343 brother firefighters. And what happened to me was that during 9/11, when I went home, okay, I went home 2 days later. I went to see my parents, and when I walked into my parents' house, okay, of course I was with my wife, and I walked in there, and my dad got down on his knee. First he came over and gave me a big hug. My mom was crying. Everybody was crying. We were so upset because, you know, I could have been 344. So when I get them hugging and this and that, my dad gets down on his knees right in the kitchen, and he's praying to God. I come from a very religious family. He gets down on his knees, and he's praying, and he goes, thank God you're here, thank God you're here. And he's crying, and I'm crying, and then all of a sudden, and I regret it today. I regret it every day. I think about this like, you have no idea. So he gets down on his knees, and I look at my dad, and I said, the hell with God. Look what he did. Look what he allowed to do it. I said to him, but I lost 343 firefighters, my brothers, and this and that. And my dad was on the floor with his head down. He said, how could you talk like this? Look what he did for you and this and that. And it was true. God saved my life. Every turn I made, when I was stuck in the elevator, when I came out, I went left and right. If I would have made a right instead of a left, I probably wouldn't have made it out. Okay? So, to me, I couldn't believe it. Afterwards, I'm in the car going home with my wife, and I said, I can't believe I spoke to my dad like that. But you know what? I did lose my faith. I did lose my faith. Okay? And I did. For the longest time, I don't know how long it was, but thank God it came back to me. It came back to me. And listen, at that moment, my mind was out of control or whatever. I should have never said it. I regret it, but things happen. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here, and I'm trying now to bring more people to show them, listen, I lost it. I did. I lost it, and I'm admitting it. And I hurt my family. I hurt my dad, okay? But now I'm trying to get more people to wake up here and say, you know what? Let's go. Let's get together here. Let's make it this a better country. And let's move on and realize what we have here, you know? But until we get some more support here, where are we going? Where are we going? To me, it seems like it's getting worse. It's getting worse. And we got a great president. The president, to me, he'll go down probably as the best president ever, okay? Because he's a fighter. The man doesn't sleep. Everything he does, they're against him. You don't even know what the hell they're talking about, okay? It's time to wake up, and we got to support each other, and let's move on.
Louis, when you say that you lost your faith and you were filled with such anger from what you had seen, and I understand that fully, because you can say, how is there a God? How can this happen and there be a God? But if you really understand that God is kind of a mystery to us, but he is love. So when you if you were to just say, lose your faith, you are in a way losing the most important element of life, and that's love. Love that you're now able to share with others.
Yes.
And you said a big way to help you out of it, for you, was counseling. And you found that counseling worked for you.
That was
And
that was another tough part. Okay, I went to like 3 different counselors. We couldn't connect for whatever reason. We didn't connect. Maybe I wasn't ready for it. But when I went in to see Dr. Duran, and he had done some work on me because my brother firefighter were concerned about me. I had rage. I was out of control. I did things like it. Meanwhile, I forget that I have a family. I got to support a family. I didn't think about my family, but I was out of control. So they told me to go see Dr. Duran. I went to see Dr. Duran with my wife. We walked in, and he came on strong. He came on very strong. Right away, he said to me, "Louis, sit down. What are you doing to yourself? You got to wake up. What's going on here? You have a beautiful wife. You got 3 beautiful kids. Your parents are still alive. What's going on?" And we're crying like babies, myself and my wife. And you know what? I stood there and listened and listened and listened. I went to see him for, I don't know, maybe a year. We'd go see him. First it was like twice a week, then we went once a week and everything else. And you know what? I guess I was ready for him. And he spoke to me, came on strong. He changed my life. He's changed my life. My faith came back, and he made me a stronger person. Now I want to live forever. I want to live forever now because I need to be around. When I go places, I talk to people, and I try to encourage them. We got to stick together. We got to do this and this. No, we got to fight. We got to fight. We can't give up. Like Trump said, fight, fight, fight. That's what we got to do here. We're not giving up. We're not giving up. They're trying to bury us, but we're not giving up.
You can't.
Yeah. And so when even that, like you brought and by continuing to search for the good and reach for that, you chose love. You chose that route. And it was hard. I could imagine it probably didn't go away just like that.
Very hard.
But you're respecting even your 343.
Absolutely.
You're giving them.
I think of them every day.
And we can all, because you're able to even talk about it, we're able to share, not forget.
And you being a police officer, I know there was 37 at the Port Authority Police, 23 police officers. We're all a team. We're all in it together. You know what I'm saying?
And there's, many are still passing away from cancers. And we keep losing. And it's that to me is, it's a ripple effect.
Very good topic, okay? We lost 343. The last time I checked, we had almost 500 firefighters, just firefighters, that's passed on. Almost every other week, we're losing a firefighter from cancer because being down in ground zero. I can't imagine how many civilians are passing on and everything else. And it's still going on. There's a lot of suffering, a lot of pain. People don't realize it, And then there's these stupid things. You don't want to sing the national anthem. You don't want to represent the country. January 6th was a disgrace and everything else. They're blaming everybody else. But, I don't know.
They tried to compare January 6th to 9/11.
Yeah.
Now, isn't that interesting? January 6th to be like 9/11. I personally was at January 6th, and that conversation was being put in the day of because somebody whispered it into my ear. This is like 9/11, and that's when you really see me kind of go into anxiety, saying this is nothing like 9/11. Yeah. Louis survived the building. He led about 50 people out of the building, and
he ran back into the building.
And
you know what's sad too? Not only I led them out, they helped me get out. Because the first staircase that I hit was full of civilian and firefighters bringing people down. So when I hit the 24th floor, I was trapped. When a scissor staircase, I jumped over the railing, came out on the 23rd floor, and there was people screaming in the hallway. And they showed me where the other staircase was, and we led the way out. When we got outside, I found a little old man underneath the standpipe. I took him, we went outside. When we got outside, they went one way, I went the other way, whatever. Next thing I know, I look out, look out, look out. Tower starts coming down that I was in, and I get buried, and I'm here.
But by the grace of God, didn't you find another?
Yes, I found a mask, but what happened was from all that soot that I inhaled, what happens at a fire? First your lungs filled up. Once your lungs fill up, you pass out, then the fire burns you. So I found a mask because I threw my mask to make myself lighter to run down the West Side Highway. If you know New York, the West Side. And then I couldn't breathe them. I threw myself on the floor, and I dragged the thing, and I made it out. And then I'm saying to myself, I'm going to die out here because I felt it like I was going to pass out. And thank God I didn't get crushed. And then they pulled me out. Next thing I know, I'm laying on the side of the West Side Highway. They were cleaning me up and giving me oxygen. And I'm here.
Thank God.
Wow.
And it was the grace of God again.
Wow.
God again stepped up. And then I go against God, how do you think I feel? Not good. But you know what? I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're back. I am
Amen.
glad you're back.
Amen. Yes.
And people like you make me stronger. Okay? When she asked me that I could come, I said, absolutely, I'll be there.
Well, that's what's important, right? The supporters. And it just goes hand in hand, like you say. Like people say, oh, you're a hero sometimes. And that's not, I think Americans try to always kind of abstract things into like a very, but really, we're all in this together. The supporters, the
Teamwork.
advocates.
It's all about teamwork. Firefighter, police officer, we all know about teamwork. Listen, if you to have a good team, everybody's got to pull it together. You know, we go into a fire, everybody's got their position, you got to work together. And same here, we got to have a team and work together.
Right. And so that's why this is so difficult to talk about, because like even as you say with 9/11, I think a lot of things that happen are that firemen, quite a few firemen look at it and say, no, I heard explosions. They look at it, they say steel doesn't burn like that. It gets technical. Yeah. And even Building 7, I know being there, somebody said they were going to pull it. Yeah. I was there when they said that. So there's so much that needs to be to really still talk about. They want to not talk about it.
I wish it would come out. But we're never going to know the truth. I would love to see it come out, the truth, what happened here. Okay? Right. Somebody had to know what's going on.
Somebody
knows. You know? Don't just sweep it under the rug here.
Well, in the same way that on 9/11, unusual occurrences happen as far as what fires, and they're trying to say this is how a fire works.
Right.
Yeah.
The same thing on January 6th. Right. As a law enforcement, I know how law enforcement is supposed to work.
Absolutely.
And that was not, there's so many things that went wrong as far as how law enforcement should work. So as we should all be very concerned, bringing up January 6th again.
And July 13th.
And July 13th, what about security, even for our president, for security. It's a very, very, it's part of the teamwork, it's part of the discovery.
Absolutely.
But it borders on conspiracy.
The what? It borders on conspiracy.
Yeah. All of them. Yep. All of them are a conspiracy. If you think about it, you look at 9/11. Do you know what happened? I don't know what happened. Nobody knows what happened. Yeah. And then we go to January 6th. Do you know what happened then? We don't even know where that pipe bomb came from with all the cameras and all that stuff. We don't know what happened. And July 13th.
Well, I'll tell you, conspiracy theories aside, we do know what we do know. And we do know God is good, and He is going to guide us. So come back for the third segment. We're going to talk some more.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA Store.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
Hey, Paul, I was having a pillow fight with Gino's wife.
Me too.
Yeah.
She's not supposed to stay up that late.
I have the video. And now let me tell you, talk about soft. When I think soft pillows, I think of, other than Gino's wife, mypillow.com. Because these are the best pillows you're ever going to get. You can go to mypillow.com /TAFW. Go now, get your MyPillow. Right now.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today.
You know, I got to tell you, a lot of my followers are asking, hey, Midnight, where are you getting all that energy from? I say, you want to know the truth? I take about 25 milligrams of Adderall a day. But that eventually ends, and then that's where Agara coffee comes in. I start drinking this stuff, and it boosts my energy. It shoots me right through to the moon. If you're not drinking Agara coffee and you need that extra boost during the middle of the day, I'm telling you right now, get this into your system, and I promise you that it will absolutely take you to a whole nother level. Midnight, I am out. 1, 2, 3. Woo!
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
Hey, welcome back to Peacemaker. And I wish on the break we could have captured the conversation. So, Louis, we're going to just sum up with, you got to get Louis' published. We got to get a publisher for Louis.
Right. We just actually sent it out today to one publisher, so fingers crossed that she reads it. We sent a query letter out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I just want to say something about my book. We've been writing, not just myself, I have a ghostwriter, and I have other people help me. My book is it's not about that I'm a special person. I'm far from a special person. My book, I want it, when people, if I get my book, it's an inspiration. It's an inspiration. I came from it at 11 years old, like I said before, and if you read my book, after what I went through, I'd love to see somebody pick it up and say, wow, if he made it through this, I could do it too. You know what I'm saying? To try to make it better for other young kids, okay? But the name of the book is A Soldier, a War That Will Never End. And you know what? Things got to change. They have to change, and we got to educate the younger kids, okay? Because I feel they're controlled in school, they're brainwashed in school, okay? I worked by Columbia University. The cabal that went on in Columbia was a disgrace. And it's not just Columbia. You know, these are smart kids. They're smart kids. They should know who to follow. And we gotta get out of control. Out of control.
Yeah.
Yep. Same with my book. Same exact thing.
That's right. You have a book you're also writing about.
Yep. Over the Wall, J6 and beyond. I want people to know. I want people to know that there was people standing outside that jail that supported January 6th, and they were not forgotten. They stood up for America that day on January 6th. They didn't expect to get arrested for that day.
Yeah.
You know, they followed their Constitution. That was the people's house.
Right.
Right. And Tavia, you were saying about school?
I was just saying it starts very young. They start in kindergarten with the indoctrination. The kids aren't even aware of what's going on. Parents aren't even aware of what's going on. And that's why Moms for Liberty is really important, because they're into the schools and they're finding out what's going on and they're trying to make some changes. So there is some work happening on that level.
There is.
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons why I got involved with Project Civica, and it's, you know, what Lou was saying earlier is that we have to work together. We have to make changes, and it's important for everybody to get involved at the local level. You can make a big difference at the local level, and Project Civica is currently promoting election integrity and also committee membership. And committee membership is something that not too many people are aware of, but we're supposed to have representation at the local level, not just at the county level, but actually at the election district level. Now, most of us that are watching, we've all had the experience of voting. Just prior to an election, you usually get a postcard in the mail that tells you what your election district is and where to vote. Right. Your election district is actually a little neighborhood. It's only maybe a few square blocks. And within that election district, we're supposed to have 2 representatives within our political party. People don't realize this, but those are the people. They're called committee members, and they are considered the voting members of the party, and they have the authority and the power to vote for their political party leaders, who in turn make some very significant decisions in terms of who gets on the ballot come election day. So So I hope everybody will tune in to Project Civica, register at their website. It's projectcivica.org, and it's about getting involved at the local level, and that's where change takes place.
And get these GOPs, because I tell you, they're just rotten, some of these people who suppress our voices, don't let us become committee members, and you do all the work to become a committee member, and then you have a few men who decide they're going to override. So the local level, level needs some arrests. I do believe. I'm going to say that it really is. We're at that point where we have to have a little bit more, because I know you also go into court with things, but so if you can, follow along what's going on at Project Civica. But Tavia, just tell us again, what's your website, just so?
So I have two different ones. One's AmericanConservativeArtists.com, which is more with the arts, and we try to bring arts and education and voices that have been silenced over the last 4 years. But right now I'm also involved with GoUSA.us, which we're working on something called the Ops Score, which is a non-partisan political rating system for politicians. So you take a test, you get a score, then the politicians take a test and get a score, and then you see where you land. And what's happening is many people are realizing that 85% of the population wants the same thing. So it's trying to get people to be more informed voters and not just vote down the line DDD or RRR, but vote for policy, not the person. Not personality, I should say.
Good point.
Yeah, I love it.
So everybody should go to opscore.org and take the test for themselves, and you'll see what's going on, and follow us and support us, because we can help save the midterms.
And somebody like Mamdani should never have even gotten into it, because if we investigated him.
Actually, on the last, I guess, primary, that woman that got in, I don't remember her name, but only 4.4% of the population went out to vote. She won the primary with 0.4% of people voting. So we need to get people to get out to vote. We need to take 5 people with us to vote and make sure that they vote for.
And some arrests on the local level.
Yes, agreed.
Maybe we should talk about immigration.
So what was your website again, and what were you saying?
Oh, yeah, my website is Jill Books, JILLBOOKS, as in Jill writes and publishes books.com.
And what were you just saying?
I was saying that maybe we should talk a little bit about immigration, and because speaking of Ilhan Omar and others and Mamdani, did they come to this country and sign the paper that you have to sign saying that you've never been involved in anything communist? I mean, maybe Mamdani was a child, but his mother was is a filmmaker, and it could well be. I'm sure she has participated in some questionable things. We all saw pictures of her with Epstein and other people. Who else? Gavin Newsom, maybe? Something like that. So we have to wonder about these people.
The other thing is you don't see people running to these countries, right?
Nobody goes there.
Nobody goes that direction. They're all coming here.
But it gave me an idea, Jamie. Who were the guards in the Dessau Gulag? Could they have been illegal immigrants?
They sure could have. They sure could have.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
They were guards.
Yes.
So
they were guards inside and outside. They got paid overtime to watch us out in the corner to support men and women across the country.
Wow.
No.
Can I add something? Let's never forget about Justine Damon, I believe in Chicago. She was, it was Minnesota, I believe. She was calling the police to help her because somebody was breaking into her apartment, went outside to talk to them, and the Somali policeman shot her dead for no reason. Remember Justine? Never forget her.
Never forget her either. Mm-hmm. And don't ever forget Bart Shively. Bart Shively died of cancer. The government wouldn't help him either.
Mm-hmm. Bart Shively was a January 6th. And
January 6th.
The medical care was not, it was...
A veteran.
A veteran
who paid the price for this country. He believed in everything in this country. And the government would not give him medical treatment for his cancer while he was in jail. And he screamed bloody murder at night because he was in so much pain. Yep.
Seems like there's a lot of double standards.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All double standards.
And so when you came here as an immigrant, what would you say was what was the dream? What was it that brought you here?
Well, what brought us here, we were happy, we were content, we had a farm, we didn't know better.
I know, I was reading that, it looked great.
When we came here, we were proud, like I was saying, we were proud to be American, and we had a goal. We had a goal. My father he bought a house, he became a citizen, I became a citizen, and we were proud to be here. We were proud to be American. That's what it's all about, We were supportive of our country, And if somebody said something bad about our country, we would say, what, are you kidding me? This is the best country. It was the land of opportunity. That's what it was known. To come to America was the land of opportunity. And for me, it was beautiful.
And you did the same thing the same exact day because you knew a firefighter, that's what they need to do. Our veterans, our American people went to the Capitol because they wanted their voices heard.
And when I became a firefighter, I was so proud you have no idea. And I was older when I became a firefighter. I was an older firefighter. I had 2 sons already. I was so proud. I thought I was like.
And you should be proud of that.
And you know what? And I try to. That's what I try to do now. I teach the younger kids. Like I was talking to Sarah. You know, you see an old lady going down. She's got someone will help her. Help out. Do something about it. You know, you don't see that no more. To hold the door open and stupid things like that. But it's important. You know, it's important.
That is a big way that I think infiltration came, is to dehumanize us. And Facebook, it's come out that it's an MK Ultra. If you don't know what that is, it's no longer conspiracy.
Right.
It is designed to take the masses, to control citizenry.
Yeah.
And so when you're on Facebook, just be a little bit more aware. You're actually part of a psyop. So I like to just give it back to them. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, my feeling is if you don't like this country, then leave.
Right.
Why don't ruin what we have.
Right.
Leave. If you're not happy here, leave and don't let the door hit you in the rear.
Oh, did you hear Mondami's speech about that?
Wrong way on this desk.
Yeah.
We're the ones who are at the desk, though. He's sitting on the other end,
He's
so
on the
we're
wrong
still
side
in
of the desk.
control.
That's right.
Yeah.
We do. We do, and I think that's the beauty of Independence Day, 250. We're going to see things that we've never seen before. Like, we kind of always have our eye on the enemy, and because it's so incredible. Like, how could you be thinking that way? How could you be doing things that way? You know what? We got to start stressing what is it we love to do? Where are our talents? And like Jamie, who's doing her knitting and making flags. Jill, who's given us the beach report. She's just sharing. Oh my God, the hope and the strength and the bravery coming out of Louis is just, you can't tackle it.
Thank you.
Tavia, going all the way, supporting people who are trying to get their dreams out and their voices heard, and just supporting that. And Sue as well. Just constantly looking out for somebody who is falling through the cracks. Everybody has turned their backs on, but Sue just won't do that. It's the American spirit, the American patriot. It's a beautiful thing. I want to thank you all for coming here today. Thank you, Louis.
Thank you for having me. It was an honor to be here and to meet you all great people. And we got to keep fighting. We're not giving up.
Never give up, never give in, ever.
There you go.
Fight.
Fight.
Take back your country.
God bless America.
God bless
America.
America.
America is right. Thank you, Sarah. You were
Thank
great.
you, guys.
Thank you.